Hey, Kyle.
Troy,
Who's your new friend?
not mine. Well, he is mine, but he's your man, Wildcat Willie.
Wildcat Willie.
Mascot from Northern Michigan. Of course, we got Fatigue, because when you train, you got to go to Fatigue. And we got Dino the T-Rex, who's keeping me in line. So
Yeah, he's got the.
he's got the claws.
That's right.
Is he working on massage therapy? Like
Maybe
maybe
that would be painful, but
yeah.
you could do deep tissue with those.
Yeah, it'd be
Or
claw
talons.
tissues. Yeah, something. So
Oh, what are we talking about today, Kyle? We're on the Adaptive Sports channel here.
well, we had another video talking about my lake swim, but I've still been training afterwards, and I learned something about open water swimming that I didn't know before.
Tell us about now. If you've done open water swimming, you probably have experienced what he's going to talk about. But if you haven't, it's a
Yeah.
very big tip.
The lake we have here is relatively small, but last weekend, still training for next to the lake swim. Last weekend, the weather was pretty warm, and the lake was warm, but there was a pretty stiff breeze, and I hadn't swam in that big of a wind, and I realized that, I swam on the lake when there were what I call wake waves from the boats, which
Mhm.
where I swim, it's right off the shore, so when the wake waves come in, they bounce back. I knew that, but to swim with them, so you're getting hit this way and that way. But with the wind, I realized there were wind waves too, and
Okay.
they were continuous. So, where I train, I'm swimming down about 100 yards and swimming back about 100 yards and count my stroke. So, swimming down, I realized that wind must have been in my back, even though I'm not. And I made it down to like 90 strokes.
Nice.
Coming back was more like 120. So it's like,
I want to go the 90.
yeah, but I
wanna
had
go
to turn
that
around
way.
and come back.
I know, but
And the,
I just want to do it the
yeah,
easier
that
way.
was easy, but it was like, oh my God, I had to make up the extra, which the wind, but my problem is the wind was coming across the lake, and as an amputee, I have a tendency to always breathe to my left side. It's easier to roll that way, even though I was told in therapy that most amputees roll away. But for some, and maybe it's my neck, I don't know, but for me, but of course, so I'm swimming down, got the wind kind of at my back, but I would turn to breathe, and there's the wind waves. So it's like, not only I'm going faster, but I'm swallowing water. And then not always. So if anybody out there is a swimmer, or whether you're an able-bodied or an adaptive athlete, if you've done open water swimming, if you experienced this, let us know what you think. I had never experienced it. I'd been swimming all summer, and we hadn't had real windy days. And this wasn't a real big stiff breeze, but it was coming across the lake, and was like, this is hard. I got pretty fatigued. I wanted to swim about a mile and a quarter, and I only made a mile because it was that coming back against the wind. You worked hard. I worked hard. But I guess that's also something to realize that, when I did the lake swim, it was windy, but I really didn't notice it affecting my swimming. Maybe it didn't. I didn't know.
Okay.
But that gives me something to think about for next year, that if it's a windy day, you're going to have to train a little different. You're going to have to train a little harder. You're going to have to expect the wind waves, which I deemed them, because when you're swimming
Wind
the lake,
waves.
the boats aren't, because we're out in the middle with the lake, so there's no boat traffic going on. But training with wake waves is one thing, because they bounce back. They hit the beach and come back, so you're getting hit left and right. But I also swim relatively during the day, so there's not a lot of boats. But the wind waves, that was something new. Wildcat Willie would probably give me. I don't know. Would he float or would he sink? He's wood.
Yeah, but he's pretty heavy.
Yeah, so I wonder.
I'm not sure.
Maybe I shouldn't train with him.
No, he would slow you down for sure.
He'd slow me down too.
Yeah, for sure. It would be, I'll tell you though, if you were to attach this to you, it would add a little bit of resistance to your, even if it didn't sink, even if it floated. I never thought about if it would have floated.
He would probably give enough of an anchor that I could just swim in place. Kind of those training poles.
That's
that
true.
gives you
You could do like a circle. Swim around in a circle and it's just holding you in
Oh
place.
no, I'd just be in one place. I'd just keep swimming.
Oh,
like
right,
be
okay.
like a treadmill. I don't know. I don't want to mess with him. He's kind of big and heavy, and if we got him in the water, we might not get him back out. So
Now, I did just get a new, this has nothing to do, we got to get back to the adaptive sports, but I did get a new chainsaw carving. Now, that one is pretty darn light. We could carry him around. You could swim with him.
it looks like somebody left the chainsaw in him. Either that, or he's got a splitting headache.
He's-
Hanging out with me, he's probably got a splitting headache. So.
So, what you're saying, back to the point.
Like, we'll get back
All
to
right.
the swimming.
I mean, we like Wildcat Willie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true.
Well, he hasn't been in a video. We had to bring him in.
Well, and with that, now, have you thought about that though? Like literally, true, not with Wildcat Willie, but with an anchor and trying to swim like a treadmill. That was an intro. I never even thought it. Has anybody ever done that?
Well, I know there are the lap pool. Well, not necessarily lap pools.
Yeah, I know
but,
what you're
you know,
talking about.
Yeah, the
Michael Phelps
yeah,
does
that
one.
you know they give a current and you're just swimming in place,
Mhm.
which would be cool. But I get bored. I mean, it's like running on a treadmill. And,
That's literally
and-
what it is.
Yeah, and for
Swimming on
me,
a
I,
treadmill.
when I was an able body, I didn't like running on a treadmill. I want to go out and experience. And when I'm
Well,
swimming,
I
in a
still
lake-
want to know what you guys
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Have you ever set something? That's an interesting concept. I wonder how that would work in an open water. You're attached to to a dock. You could tie yourself to a dock and just
Well,
try to
I'd
swim.
be swimming hard. I'd tear the dock off. It'd be kind of
Well,
like
that's true. That's true. But you might drag the anchor with you too. You know, depending on how big the anchor was.
Yeah, I'd be worried about, you know, kind of giving you a rash where you strap.
Well,
on,
that could very well happen.
you know, rough up your
Absolutely.
skin or something, and then you get out and got belt marks or something. I don't know. But if anybody's tried with a harness, I guess you could do it.
I guess why not?
That'd be interesting. If anybody out there has tried to swim with resistance, it'd be interesting. All I know is the wind waves were enough resistance for me. That's all I need.
Absolutely. It would be a lot less than buying one of those pools, though. You know, and putting that into your house.
Yeah, but it might have to be a heavy anchor. You might, if you're an adaptive athlete, you might have to have a second wheelchair to get it down in the water.
Mm.
And then you're
Well,
tired.
or
at
call
the
a
end of it.
friend. I mean, one of your friends might be willing to help. I mean, I wouldn't. Don't call me because I'm of no help.
Well, you
But-
got Wildcat Willie out here. And
That's true.
So
He's a monster.
yeah,
He's a pretty heavy guy. Not as much as what do we call this guy? Dino.
Dino the T-Rex.
Dino. All right.
So,
So not as heavy as him, but way heavier than our newest one.
oh yeah, we'll have to bring him in.
Yeah, he'll come out
Well,
later.
you know, we might have to let everybody know that it might be a little offensive to people. But,
I know, so but
Yeah.
maybe the cat is too. I don't know.
Well, anybody that goes
You
to
never
Grand Valley or Saginaw Valley or Michigan Tech, he's offensive.
Was very offensive.
Not to me, because I
That's
love
true.
Marquette.
Yeah, for sure. We do like Marquette. Maybe we have to go to Marquette. Go up there during hockey season and film some videos of you doing sled hockey up in
We're
Marquette.
way off subject now, but
We're not even close to the
no,
subject.
but this is
Stay
part of
with
it.
us,
But this
it's
is
fun.
this is part of adaptive sports because there are sports. Northern plays at Grand Valley
In adaptive sports.
regular football.
Oh,
But-
right. Football.
I could do my adaptive sports training will allow me
Right,
to hop to
okay.
the game on my crutches.
But unfortunately, and nobody send this to Northern Michigan because they may discard me. Like just literally take my Northern card away. They might remove my diploma. But
you're a distinguished graduate.
it's
man.
really
I
not
love you.
that much. I am amazing, aren't I? So just ask me, I'll tell you. But they they have never had a good football team since like 1975.
Weren't
That was a long time ago.
NAIA back then or something.
I'm not even sure what they were, but they won the national championship back then.
Did
and
it in
that
hockey
was-
when you were there?
Awesome, but our football team, no matter who we bring in, cannot seem to get above any reasonable.
Because they play in a dome.
Oh, they do have a beautiful dome.
They do have a beautiful dome,
It's
but-
true.
Northern Michigan, get out there and play in the weather. Wimps.
It's true.
I swear.
Although, and we'll talk about that later. But anyway,
They need to
Uh,
train with you.
but
That's
we
what it is.
could go to that game. It would just be we'd almost have to go voting for the other team if you wanted to have a chance of being
Well,
successful.
no, you wear Northern. I'll wear the Grand Valley because my cousin played at Grand Valley, and
Yeah, but that would be hard though because they're not going to win. I mean, my team's going to lose. It's going to be very sad.
kind of like
Tough luck.
fans of other colleges of the state. We're not going to talk about that.
All right,
We're going to
moving
talk about
on.
wind waves.
Moving on.
Get out there and
So-
challenge yourself. Just know that if there is any wind and you're in open water and you haven't swam with the wind, it's going to be a struggle. Unless you swim with the wind the entire time.
That's what I would want to do.
But then you got to park right down there.
That's true. Then how do you get to the start, right? This is a problem. But anyway, so
Have a
here's the question that I always ask you, basically, is give them like 1, 2, 3 tips, 5 tips, whatever it is, that would help them now that you've done it and you discovered how nuisancey these different levels of wind. What do they do?
Just know that the wind is going to give you some resistance.
Just be
it's
aware
going to
of
make
it.
you work.
All right.
And you can breathe to both sides. When the wind's coming this way, pushing the waves at you, breathe the other way. So you don't get
Good
the waves
idea.
in your face.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something I need to train on, is breathe into the opposite side. But it's just another challenge. It's more resistance. It's not enough to stop you from training. Just know that it's going to make your training a little more difficult. Unless somehow you just swim with the wind. I don't know. But hey, it's just something more that I've learned that is going to help me train for the next lake swim, or maybe a bigger lake swim. But
So there's nothing really they can do except for be aware of it
yeah,
and
be aware of it.
don't get
Yeah.
caught off guard.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, be aware of it, and maybe train in it, so that if you're doing a competition,
Oh, for the competition, yeah.
and there is wind, then you've trained in it, so and so that's helped me.
That's almost the first rule, though. If you're gonna compete in any activity, whatever,
Definitely.
it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, if you're a runner, let's just say, for example, you don't want to run all flat grounds if
Definitely.
you're going to be running in
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter what the sport is, what the activity is.
Yeah.
You got to train
Yeah.
like you're going to
Yeah.
perform.
Well, it's challenge. You have to accept the challenge. If you're going to do a sport, whether it's an individual sport or a team sport, accept the challenge and overcome it. Find a way to adapt and overcome. Don't stop. Don't give up.
Speaking of challenges, sometimes it's a challenge for people to like, subscribe, and share our
But
best. I don't know why, but it's
liking's
hard.
free. Subscribing
free.
is
Always free.
sharing is,
Free.
but also good. But also comment.
Sharing is
Give us your questions. Give us your input. Give us your point of view. Give us, help us get better. If you've done lake swims, whether it be a half mile or a para-triathlon, or you swam a 15K, even as an able-bodied, I might be able to learn something from you. So let us know. I can always get better. I have to.
I
So
don't know how you could possibly get any better than you are, Kyle.
I'm better from swimming with the wind. And
That's right.
so I know that there are wind waves, and so, but
Wind waves. We should just call our training wind waves.
No. But that's only for swimming.
I mean, that's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
for swimming,
Just for
but
swimming.
if it's not a windy day, then it's just wake waves.
Yeah, just yeah, that's what all right.
Although I'll tell you what, one of the coolest things is if I swim early enough in the day, when you get done, no noise. There's no boats, no traffic. There's the birds. Getting done is a nice thing, but when you can just sit there and be one with nature, it's like, this is pretty cool. So
All right.
that's something that swimming in a pool, you don't do that because you're swimming, 50, 60 laps, whereas in the lake, I only got to do like 8 laps. But when you're done, it feels good. It's like I accomplished something, but Mother Nature can be pretty amazing out there. So if you haven't tried swimming in a lake and you got one local, go do it.
Take advantage for sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, we always recommend that, right? Get outside.
Change the scene.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Have some
All
fun.
right.
Have some fun. That's most important.
When this time we had change of scenery.
We definitely did. We
We
brought
brought the new guy in. He's not really new, but he's new to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's been around a while.
It's got good colors. Not the dust colors, but it's got good colors. Folks, subscribe, like, comment, share, ring the bell.
And ring the bell.
Ring the bell. So thank you, folks.